welcome to the Science of Woman. Join me on our journey to embrace our feminine nature and become the women we were meant to be. I have been thinking a lot about what is femininity and trying to come up with a definition of what it is, and thinking about why is this something that I have struggled with, of rejecting things that are feminine or that I perceive as feminine. And I think it's because I genuinely don't understand what it means to be feminine, and that what I perceive as feminine is simply the superficial of valuing being pretty or looking nice. Not just looking nice, but like things that are frilly and flowery and pink. That I view vanity and romance and drama as things that are considered feminine. But I don't have any understanding of the depth of femininity and what else it is. And that is an interesting dilemma. It's like, how can I embrace my femininity when I don't completely understand what that even means? I am not entirely certain either where that distinction between the masculine and the feminine happened. I want to be a good person first and foremost, and it's like, when are those things separated? When do those things become distinct? And we have heard culture talk a lot about toxic masculinity for a long time, but we've also seen our culture encourage women to be more masculine and act like that's a good thing, and to deny their more nurturing side, and to say that the way that culture has viewed and treated stay-at-home moms, for example, as less than, of like, oh, they don't really have much to add to the conversation. And I'm looking at both this minimization of masculinity in men and the encouragement of it in women, and the discouragement of femininity in women and the encouragement of femininity in men, and trying to figure out what is a healthy amount of masculinity for me to have and what is femininity, and where do these things overlap in a way that is fine and healthy, and where do I need to make distinctions? What is masculinity and what is healthy masculinity? It seems easier for me to define than femininity for some reason, because immediately three words come to mind: to protect, provide, confidence, and play. And I don't think play is inherently masculine necessarily, but I picture, when I think of a good man, I picture a man, a dad, or a man who plays well with young children, like throwing young kids up in the air and roughhousing. That is what I picture when I think of good, healthy masculinity. I think of confidence. They don't feel insecure. They don't feel the need to overly explain themselves. They just are steady. But that didn't really give me answers on what femininity is and how to embrace my feminine nature. Because then I also just was thinking about this, is like, okay, nurturing is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of feminine, of like, but that's not exclusively a feminine thing. There is, for example, the play is a male form of nurturing, and also women do that too, and it's good and healthy. And so it's like, okay, if nurturing is both masculine and feminine, but maybe it expresses itself in different ways. There goes my puppy. And I think that there might be some truth to that. That maybe even for the protect and provide, because part of our role as women is to protect those around us. Like, that's just a thing of being a good person. But what that looks like is different than what it looks like for men. I'm not built the same as my husband. I'm just not. But I still protect. I still protect my children. I still protect my husband in a different way. It's not in a physical way. It's actually more social. But this is also where it gets hard to know if you are in a healthy form of feminine or a toxic form, because we look at some of what's going on in our culture and we look at mothers who have become overly protective of their children, and to the point where they seem to act like their children can do no wrong, and it is not healthy for their children, and their children are not becoming people that the people in society want to be around, and that is doing more harm than it is doing good. So how do we stay self-aware of where is the balance and where is the line? Those are my thoughts for now. I'm going to keep thinking about the balance and the dual nature of different traits and how they differ, male and female, and masculine and feminine, because I don't believe those are necessarily the same thing. There can be masculine and feminine ways to express things, but there could also, like, just because you are a female doesn't mean you don't necessarily express the trait in the feminine way. So that's what I'm going to think about more. Thanks for listening. Feel free to like and subscribe. Comment any thoughts down below. I'd love to hear if you have any considerations, things for me to think about. What do you think femininity is? And does it mean to be feminine? If you'd like to be alerted the next time that I post a video, hit that bell button. Talk to you later.